Mr. Adams, thank you for talking with me today.
My pleasure.
I'm very impressed with your background. You've consulted with Fortune 100 companies, Johnson & Johnson, DuPont Merck, Eli Lilly. I'm just so impressed with that. I'm also impressed with this white paper you've written, Private Practice at the Crossroads. I'm a little puzzled. Why are you going from such large companies down to private practice? What interests you in these smaller segments of the economy?
That's a good question. Mike, I've consulted to not only Fortune 100 companies, but a lot of small and mid-sized firms as well along the way. Many of them dealing in the healthcare industry. Recently, I took a look at the private practice sector about a little over 2 years ago. Made a strategic decision that private practice is still the largest single employer as a sector of the healthcare system. Therefore, I figured that there was a lot of opportunities for these private practitioners who are going through a tremendous amount of pressure for survival. It was a great place for me to go and seed my program and be able to help these private practices to provide a mechanism for them to survive.
I understand that you've looked at this quite extensively. What does your research show?
We did research for over a year. It was very exhaustive and extensive research. We researched, we interviewed hundreds of physicians, industry experts, clinicians. We also even interviewed economists. And what we found is that there are trends that you can identify, which in fact are all indicating that private practice is going the way of the dinosaur.
Really? What
Yes.
are some of the statistics that you found or that you cite?
Actually, over the last 5 years, 17.4%, according to the government statistics, of private practices have left the system. Now, in terms of a business, that is an enormous amount of competitors to leave a system of this size in that amount of time.
Wow. What's the problem? Is it a clinical problem with the medicine itself, or is it a management problem?
Well, the problem is exactly that you need a good clinician with good management skills today, and the physicians are not trained to be operations people. They're not trained to understand performance improvement, how to engage in that process, and in fact, they are, for the most part, clinicians, excellent clinicians, and that's really where they like to concentrate and not have to worry about the business and its operation.
Now, in your white paper, you mentioned something called outcome dynamics, and that being a model that would help them. What is outcome dynamics?
Well, Outcome Dynamics happens to be a program I invented, and the program is designed to be innovation architecture. So if you can imagine that going through change is like building a building, the innovation architecture actually provides the girders and the framework for the companies that are going to go through change to use as a roadmap for transformation.
Now, in business, the word values is used a lot, and you use that, and I would imagine that's not something doctors or physicians are used to thinking about. How do you apply the term values to the medical profession?
Well, the fact of the matter is values come in all different forms and all different shapes and are used all different ways. In my case, part of the underlying structure within the program of Outcome Dynamics is something called the value component system. It's actually an algorithmic system, and there are all values of any company are seated within value streams, and of that I have designed 4 value components that actually comprise every value stream of every company. Hence, this theory can be applied in private practice as well as in companies.
Oh, you've used a lot of big words: outcome dynamics, innovation platform, or architecture, values chains, and so on. What can you wrap this all up for us a little bit so we can just conclude
Sure.
with a package, sort of?
Outcome Dynamics is a platform that has served me well for some 15 years. It has a great record of success in helping to create innovation and change. Private practice is an incremental part of healthcare, and with the storm of reform which we're currently experiencing, private practices are going by the wayside. I think I can help if I apply Outcome Dynamics.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.